Welcome to another episode of Outside Shots. I'm here with my guy, Eddie Johnson. I'm Saul Bookman. Appreciate you all joining us for another episode today. There's quite a bit to get into. First of all, how was your Thanksgiving, Eddie?
My Thanksgiving was beautiful. I ate for 4 straight days. It's not fun after the fact. You know, food was so good, though.
How was the capon or capon?
Capon.
Capon.
Capon was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. You didn't go try it, huh? You didn't go get you one.
I couldn't find it.
Well, go find one for Christmas. Okay. Go find one for Christmas.
Actually,
you will thank me.
What's funny is my wife is a veterinarian, and I told her about this, and she said she had never heard of it either, which is kind of crazy because she's a veterinarian.
It's a European. So. It started in Europe. It's real popular in Europe. Castrated rooster, which is a chicken. But I'm telling you, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you spend time with a lot of family or just you?
Yeah, family. Yeah, my brother came in town, I think, and he was here for about a week and a half, and then my brother-in-law's here, so that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it. Just sit around, watch games. Watch you on your 100 podcast you're on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm only on one other one, but okay. Cool. I miss you on TV. You took a nice little week vacation. It seems like you let Annie take the reins. That was quite nice of you to let her take it over for
every
Thanksgiving.
Holiday season. Annie does Annie used to do 12 games for me. Now she does 18.
Oh, okay.
And so she loves to travel. So most of the games that she do will be on the road. And it's unfortunate she's getting ready to get another knee replacement. So her knee has been bothering her a little bit. So she's a trooper. She's hanging in there. And so, EJ gets a chance to, rest up a little bit. I'm very fragile.
Well, I'm sure you're resting up for the in-season tournament, which is going to begin next week. And the Suns are in it against the Lakers. They get a third opportunity to try and defeat the hated rival out in Los Angeles. So far, from what you've seen in the in-season tournament, we've talked about it before, but I think there's a couple things that have kind of come to fruition of late. First of all, Jason Tatum says that he doesn't like the fact that there's a point differential, and then the next ensuing game, they run up the score on Chicago because they have to, so that they can qualify for the in-season tournament. Billy Donovan kind of understood what was happening. Joe Mazzulla told him, hey, we got to score points, man, because we're trying to make the in-season tournament. The Suns, listen, Devin Booker hits that bank 3 against Memphis. If he doesn't hit that, they don't make it, which is kind of crazy because the point differential was literally 1 point from the Pelicans. Actually, they would have made it because they would have beat the Rockets, but the point differential would have kept them if the Rockets had beat the Mavs. The Pelicans would have beat them had he not hit that bank 3. Just a bunch of craziness that had happened. The Warriors had to win by 12 or more over the Kings, but they didn't because they lost by 1, and the Kings are now in. And just wild. What's been your take so far on how this all unfolded, and now that we're finally to the knockout round?
I just can't believe that these guys are that soft mentally to be offended by a game. Like, when I play anything, I don't care what it is, I want to destroy you.
Yes.
Like, I want to take your soul. I do. But think about it. This is not back in the Roman days where they would put you in the middle of a stadium and you fight to the death. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a game. Okay, I'm going to do my Allen Iverson, when he said, we're just talking about practice. We're just talking about a game, people. That's it, a game. This stuff started, man, back when I retired, and these parents would be in little AU, junior son, junior, and they get offended because their kids getting drilled. They get beat by 25. You know what? Get your butt up early in the morning, take your kid out in the backyard, and make them better. That's how it is. All of a sudden, sports has to like settle down. Whereas you got all these dudes out there in corporate America that $1 billion is not enough.
Yeah.
They want to make $3 billion. They want to make $4 billion. They're greedy. I have no issue with it. Go get all the money you can get. No issue. But now they want to go to sports and they want to soften the blow. No. Andre Drummond, they hacked the Drummond at the end of that game, Boston game. Okay. Go practice your free throws, man. They're free. They're giving you a gift. Like, when people fouled me, I wanted to send them a present. Thank you. Thank you very much. Because I was making mine. I love to go to the free throw line. That's free. That's free points.
They're free throws.
Right. So how the heck is it an offensive maneuver to hack somebody? Give me a freaking break. These dudes getting soft, man. Soft mentally. Oh, I'm offended. We shouldn't have the, no, you should be able to dribble the clock out. Man, go kick rocks, man. You play till you're done. You play till the horn rings. I don't care. I have an issue with some of these guys won't even shoot the ball at the end of quarters. You kidding me? How many half-court shots we seen go in? And these dudes dribble out the clock because they worried about their freaking field goal percentage. Yeah. If you stop shooting all them damn brick threes, you wouldn't have to worry about every now and then throwing up a shot at the end of the shot clock. It just blows me away. NBA, do not change it. Let these dudes grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up, man. This is competition. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with anything personal.
There's a couple tweaks I would make, though. I don't mind the point differential. I agree 100% with you. Like, listen, I remember back refereeing high school games, helping run a tournament down in Tucson, and I remember parents like losing their mind because little Johnny got 4th place and didn't get a trophy, and I was just like, bro, you got 4th place.
I broke my kid's trophy. My son came home with a 2nd place trophy. I threw it out. Dude, don't you ever come home with no 2nd place damn trophy and think you going to hang it up on the mantle. No, ain't no 2nd place in this house. Come on, man.
I mean, but that is the kind of the culture that parents – listen, parents can't handle their kids getting defeated, and that's where it all starts. And I don't know where this all started. I don't know how it all started. I don't know who was the first parent to bring this up. But everybody gets sensitive about this, and this is one of the things that I will absolutely jump on a soapbox for, because my kids, same way. Like, you got to earn your keep. Like, if you're not good enough to start, then you should probably work harder. Like, that's not on me. That's not on anybody else. You are in control of that. Nobody had to tell me to go to the court and play all day, every day when I was in high school or in middle school. Like, it's just something that you either want or you don't, and the results will bear fruit to your practice. So yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. If you don't want to get your ass kicked, then don't get your ass kicked.
Don't show up.
There you go. But the tweaks I would make, I think 4 games isn't really enough. I think maybe they should make it like 8. And maybe instead of having, 3 divisions, maybe they just have 2. I think that would be, something that I would like to see.
Yeah, and teams will complain that they getting an unfair piece of the schedule. You get it? So they would complain. Like, oh, we had to play 3 of the top teams in the league and they only had to play 2.
I mean,
that's the problem. Like, that's why I like that they did separate it and made it kind of even and spread it out.
I mean, but there's already complaints about this anyway. So
because people like to complain.
I know.
People they soft.
But I would like to see 8, so that way we have a little bit more of a really understanding of who these teams are, how good they are, and we get the best of the best. I'm not trying to knock anybody that made the tournament. I think it's great that Indiana made it. I think it's fantastic. It's good for the league. I think it's great that Sacramento made it. These are two small market teams, quote unquote, that are going to have the ability to show out on the national stage against some good competition. The Indiana Pacers got to play the Boston Celtics. The Milwaukee Bucks are taking on the Knicks. And then over here in the West, the Kings are taking on the Pelicans. And then obviously we are taking on the Lakers. This is going to be a fun little 3-game set starting on Tuesday with the 8 teams. I'm excited about it. In the third go-around, now we saw last night Devin Booker tweaked his ankle. First of all, let me ask you before we get to the Lakers, how did you feel about Devin Booker coming back into the game in the fourth quarter?
It's all basically predicated on him. Like, again, I know people will be watching it and they'll say, oh, you should sit down. You know why you're saying that? Do you want me to be honest?
Eddie.
Because you would go to the doctor.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, you would.
No.
Yeah,
You know
would.
why?
You go to the doctor.
You know why I was saying
I've
that
had
last
my
night?
best games injured. I've had my best games compromised.
When you watched Devin Booker last night, was he even effective?
No, but it's because he deferred to KD. My point is, I know he was a little compromised. I know that.
That's what I'm saying.
But so,
This ain't the NBA Finals, Eddie. This isn't Isaiah Thomas tweaking his ankle and still dropping 25 in the third quarter. This is game 18 against the Toronto Raptors.
He didn't pull a muscle. He didn't. But now, if it was a muscle injury, I would agree with you. But he didn't. He tweaked his ankle.
But now he might not be able to play the next couple games.
And you know what? You don't know that.
Okay.
You don't know. I mean, you really don't know how he's going to heal with the ankle. You don't know.
True.
And look, it wasn't like he couldn't stand on it. So that was encouraging to me. He got up on his own and walked off. That's encouraging to me. So that tells me that, yeah, he tweaked it without a doubt, and he could miss Friday's game. But it just told me that it wasn't severe as it could have been. And so sometimes, man, you have to and Devin is guilty of pushing it, but more so, I would say he's guilty of pushing it when it comes to muscle injury. Like, I'm always saying, look, no, if you feel like something pulled, you need to sit down. Yeah. But with an ankle, it's up to him to figure that out, and we'll see. I mean, it's he's had so many that people get worried, and they, but. You know what, man? It is what it is.
My viewpoint on this was not the fact that Devin Booker wanted to push through injury. I'm fine if he wanted to push through injury as long as he was still a factor. But the fact of the matter is that about 2 or 3 minutes into that last session, session that he was out there on the court, the Raptors figured out, yeah, he's not really a threat. He's not going to do anything. He can't. Every time he was coming off the pick, he wasn't coming off the pick and roll very hard. He was kind of being passive, and he was veering out towards the sideline. And Jordan Goodwin was having a pretty good game. I thought he would have been able to give them a little bit more off the bench because Devin Booker was compromised. And when you're compromised and you hurt your team, that's the difference.
Devin Booker on one leg better than most players.
He wasn't last night.
Okay, but we wouldn't have known that if he was sitting on the bench.
I mean, we knew it 2 minutes into it.
He got a good look on the one shot to tie the game up. He didn't make it. He wasn't out there jacking up shots. He was out there being a decoy. Oh, they were still guarding him. Oh, they were still on him.
Look at the last 3 minutes. No, they weren't.
They had a guy on him.
No, they did not. Look at the tape.
So Devin Booker was standing on the court all over by himself alone.
They weren't even considering going over there.
Hold it. Devin Booker, according to Saul, was standing by himself, and he was invisible, and nobody stood next to Devin Booker. That's not true.
I said what I said.
Somebody was there by him.
I'm telling you, go look. Like, even the Suns, when they were running their offense, realized that Devin Booker was compromised, man. Like, I don't know what to say about that.
I'm not saying he wasn't compromised, but he had a guy guarding him. It is no way somebody was leaving him because he would have stood there and shot wide open, butt-naked jumpers. He was not open. I can't believe you saying that.
I'm saying that.
Okay? Matter of fact, on the shot he took, I think 2 guys jumped at him.
That he was covered.
That's the point. So, no, they respected him out there. Last year, Jimmy Butler stayed on the damn floor for Miami and couldn't do nothing. But they wouldn't leave him. They didn't leave him. I played an entire Western Conference, 93 on one leg, and they never left me. And they knew I was compromised.
Eddie, again.
So the point is, Devin was fine out there. Okay, yes, he was compromised, but it was on his decision to be out there. I had no issue with it because it was a bone, and he sprained his ankle. If he had pulled a muscle, if it was calf, hamstring, I'm totally on board with you. Go sit down.
But you're still stretching your tendons out when you roll your ankle.
No. Man, look, I played a sprained ankle, man. No.
Jay, you need to stop in the chat, man. Stop gassing up EJ.
No,
you
man.
know you're wrong for this,
No,
man.
No, man, come on, man. It's an ankle, so
listen.
Like guys play with sprained ankles all the time.
I'm fine with it if it's important enough to do it.
Well, he had to test it to see it. Like some of
enough.
these dudes, man, soon as they get hurt, they roll around on the floor, call out the mommy, okay, and hold their head, they get up and they walk off. Right there tells me they're defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have an excuse not to come back in. Like, for me, you get up, you try to run it off, okay, see if it's there. Obviously, it was sore, okay, and it's probably going to be sore today, without a doubt. But you still test it to see. And you know what? He felt comfortable enough in his mind to be out there that if he got a flat-footed jumper, if he could be a decoy, that he was going to do it. It wasn't like he was out there trying to create something and throwing the ball away. He deferred, but Devin Booker on the floor, especially the way he's playing, that coach is not going to, like, deviate away from him and say, oh, we're going to leave him open. No, I ain't doing that. What were you watching?
When you watch this game, you're honestly going to sit there and tell me that, like, Devin Booker out there was a benefit to the team in the last 3 minutes of the game?
You're always a benefit when you are a major threat because subliminally, defenders, regardless of what you are, like, for instance, I'm 64 years old. I guarantee you, me, Dale Ellis, Dale Curry, whatever, if it was like a last-second play and they put one of our old behinds out there on the court, they ain't leaving.
No, I get that.
That's my point.
I get that.
Mentally, you're still engaged on, like, I don't believe that he's that hurt. And you're going to still be occupied. And so, for me, I didn't have any issue with it late in the game. But it was up to Devin in that regard, and he has a hard time in doing that. But, again, I had no issue because it was a sprained ankle, and it's going to be sore, it's going to be sore. As long as he didn't step on somebody's foot again, I had no issue because a lot of times when you go over there and sit down, it's going to stiffen up. Then you're not going to be able to come back in. So the goal was to keep it warm and keep moving because you know that maybe today he's not going to practice, maybe not even play Friday, who knows, but he'll have a few days off after that to get it right. And so that was his mindset.
Back-to-back Friday, Saturday. So.
Yeah, and Saturday, right. So, yeah. So that
I just want him back for Tuesday. That's really all I care about. I just want him back for Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll play.
Okay. He just says that
sure
Devin Booker's going to play. Put it in the.
I'm sure.
Put it on Twitter.
I'm sure he'll play.
There you go.
Sprained ankle, man. Like, again, it depends on the severity of it. But when he did turn it, he stood up. So, like, for instance, like when he turned it, he was able to right himself quickly and stand up. That was a positive for me. Like, a lot of times, if you turn it and you're falling away. So, like, say your ankle's turning this way and you're falling this way, it's hard for you to get your foot out of it because your weight is pushing your foot to the floor. But when you do this, right, and you're kind of falling this way, you can kind of get yourself out of it. So yeah. I thought that's what he did. But, yeah, okay. I mean, it didn't look good. It definitely, I think the Suns win the game last night if he did not turn his ankle, despite they got killed in the paint. And Toronto seems to be the one team in the league that just totally destroys the Suns in the paint.
It's just a bad matchup for the Suns every single time, it feels like. Psycho Blue with the super chat says, I agree that while he was off, it's promising he could walk on and off and across the court on his own. Get well soon book. Preach EJ. All right. Everybody's gassing up EJ today, as usual.
Why are you getting jealous?
Because they love you, and they're so
blind.
They don't like you. They're blinded by their celebrity love.
So they don't like you. So that's what it is.
It's fine if they don't like me.
Really?
That's fine.
So if you and I went and shot jumpers and I just drilled you on the court shooting jumpers, what would you say? God was on my side? Like God guided the ball from my hands? I mean, that's going to be your excuse?
These are facts.
Please.
These are facts. Those are things that I can see that are happening. There's no divine intervention on your jumper, EJ. You beat me. But I think your point was not very good. That's just what I'm saying.
Well, okay. I
we
didn't know you were a game
That's
show host.
That's fine. That's fine. As always, we're brought to you by the good folks at OG's. I probably need one right now. And you can go to any OG's dispensary to get your favorite gummies, the best in the game. You can get the indicas, the sativas, the happy balance. He needs a little bit of happy balance in his life. And he did say at some point we're going to do this, and it's going to be fun. Maybe we'll do it at Summer League next year. That'll be some good content right there, EJ. We'll have a little bit of OGs, and we'll watch a ball game together, and we'll just have a good time. All right.
Sooner or later, in my lifetime, I might decide, but I'm just high on life.
There you go.
People might think I'm high, just how I talk to you. I'm just, I'm just mellow.
You can go to ogsbrands.com to check out the closest dispensary to you. And for right now, you can get a discount. Actually, no, it ended today. Never mind. Sorry. You can't get the discount anymore. It ended today.
It's Christmas.
Sorry, man. I know. Maybe we'll get another discount for you guys and our great followers.
Wow.
But go to ogsbrands.com to find the closest dispensary and get your edibles today. And remember, you must be 21 and over to enjoy. Follow them on social as well, on Twitter and on Instagram at ogsbrands. And it's a good follow. Anyway, Draymond Green probably needs a lot of OGs. He needs to calm the hell down. He got a technical the other day against the Kings, really for nothing. He just was pointing at something and got a T. And I just feel like right now, Draymond is going to experience something a little bit different in the league, because I feel like maybe the NBA or the referees themselves have decided enough is enough with Draymond. They've let him have a lot of rope, and he continues to do foolish things time after time again. When it came to the suspension and Rudy Gobert, there was a little, he had a little presser, and he gave his thoughts on the whole situation.
And you have sort of a history with Rudy Gobert. Did you see his comments after the whole tussle? And what do you think about what he said, if you did?
It's 2023. You see everything these days. What's my comment about what he said? No comment is a comment, right? All right, cool.
No comment is a comment, right?
Well, it's amazing that he had no comment. He's very opinionated about everything. He just doesn't like Rudy Gobert. And that's fine. I wish he'd just come out and say it.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't like him. There's certain players in the league I didn't like. So.
Are you just going to leave that there? Is there anybody that you want to say? You want to get anything off your chest?
No, because, I didn't like him because I played against him, right? But when I got to know them,
yeah,
I liked them. So it's like, Reggie Miller was a guy I couldn't stand. And I'm back to not standing him when he called Suns game. But that's my boy. But when I went to play with the Pacers, he's one of the best teammates I've ever had. So, you get to know somebody. Xavier McDaniel and I, we fought literally from a basketball point of view. Physicality on the court, hitting each other, talking junk. We never had a fist fight. But he and I went at it. But then went on a cruise, NBA cruise one time, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
So for me, but on the court, there's certain people that I didn't care for. I truly did not care for. But, when I got to know them, they didn't seem to be bad people. And I think, so it's okay to not like somebody, but I think it's really deeply personal with Draymond about Rudy. I don't think Rudy dislikes him. I think more so Draymond. And it's
Yeah.
more so because Rudy got Defensive Player of the Year, and Draymond thought it was his, and so did not get it.
But that's not even Rudy's fault.
It's not his fault, but again, that's why I say it's weird, right?
Yeah.
That he, doesn't care for him. But my issue with Draymond is, and I think it's the other part too of that press conference, is he said, "I'll do it again." And my teammates, I protect my teammates. You're not protecting your teammates, you're hurting your teammates. I'll continue to say that till I'm blue in the face. It's a basketball game that's the most important. Most important thing is the basketball game. Beautiful part about sports in general is if somebody did get into a fight, it's not going to last that long. And back in the day it did, because nobody would break it up. But now you get penalized a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even a couple of million if you do something really crazy. And guys aren't going to do that anymore. They're not fighting. When's the last time you saw an all-out brawl in a basketball game? It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert just grabbed Klay. Klay wasn't demonstrative after he did it. He didn't turn to Rudy and want to swing at him. He grabbed him. What Draymond should have did was go over there and grab McDaniel, and say, "Come on, man, let's break this up." Real nice, and break the thing up. No, Draymond didn't want that. He wanted some combustion. And it hurts his team. Hurt his team the other night. You get a technical foul, they go on a 13-2 run. Like, you're trying to not just win the game, you're trying to get into the play-in. And, yeah, you said that he didn't do nothing, but it wasn't him doing this, talking about he carried. It was 5 minutes before that.
Yeah.
The screaming and the hollering in the face of officials. And then it gets to the point where it seems like he gets a tech, and he's like, dang, he didn't do anything. It doesn't matter. It's just the buildup of what he had started 5 minutes ago. And he knows it, and he just hurts his team time and time again. He hurt him in 2016 when he got suspended in the finals. He gets thrown out. He runs around the court like he just like he's back in the Roman days, looking for a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Going at the fans, it's out of control, man. That's all I can say. But he's a good teammate, even though he punched his teammate. Like, it's just come on, man. Like, it's and Klay and Steph obviously had to put up with this. And yes, Draymond is very needed for this team. At what he does, he's tremendous. But the other stuff, man, is just stop talking about you protecting your teammates, man. I didn't see you go after Nas Reed. Why don't you go after somebody that we know will throw down with you?
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, go after Isaiah Stewart. Like, go after a dude. Like, Rudy's not going to fight. You can tell. Rudy, like, he took a nap. Like, Rudy don't want to fight. Like, Rudy likes his money.
Yeah.
But go after one of these dudes in the league that just straight down will go with you. Won't do it.
Yeah.
Won't do it. If Steven Adams was that guy, Steven Adams would have killed him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So it's like, he picks and chooses, who he wants to fight, but I don't see him going after some like the guy Johnson, the James Johnson. He ain't going after him.
No, he ain't. He's a black belt, isn't he?
Yeah, 5 degree.
No.
So my point is, go after somebody where we like, okay, all right, Draymond's the enforcer. I haven't seen that. From him.
Yeah, no, he tries to go after the weaker guys, and he talks shit because he feels like he's the biggest bully on the court. I do think that, I don't know, from body language wise, I do feel like maybe Steph is a little bit fed up with it to a certain degree, even though he won't come out and say it. He's probably going to support Draymond in all those circles.
That's a great teammate.
Yeah, but like when you saw him get the tech the other day, you saw Steph Curry's head. He was just like, not this again. You know what I mean? Like, dropped his head.
He just got back.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
He just got back, man. It's just like getting out of jail, and the first thing you do is you just go do something that you can get arrested for. It could be the most minor thing, right? Yeah. Just standing on the corner with guys up to no good, and you just in the mix. Like, no, you don't do that. You just got out of jail.
Yeah.
He just got out of the NBA jail, and yet he did not miss a beat. He's screaming and hollering and all that. I'm like, man.
You know, we were talking about just, you know, that team chemistry with the Warriors is very vital to their success because they're getting older. They're getting a little bit longer in the tooth.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as, you know, as combustible in terms of offensive explosion as they used to be. So they got to play at a high level every single night because they can't really afford to take nights off anymore because they will get beat. And they've seen that over the course of the last year and a half. When you look at chemistry across the board, the Suns are kind of dealing with that with injuries and trying to figure it out and the bench and stuff like that. Then we move over to Dallas. And I think Dallas is a very interesting team right now because Dallas also last year made a big trade in getting Kyrie, and it didn't work out last year. It kind of all fell apart right away, and they didn't make the playoffs. This year, though, they've seemed to have found it. They've got good chemistry between Luka and Kyrie, and they've kind of figured out their roles, which is kind of expected when you have two great players. At some point, they would figure out each other, figure out the balance there, and get that chemistry back on. And they're one of the better teams in the league right now. But there was an interesting situation after one of the games where a reporter basically was asking Jason Kidd about chemistry. And Jason Kidd kind of went off a little bit, and I kind of respect him for it. And we'll talk a little bit more about it after you see this clip.
I think maybe, Tim, maybe it's the things that you guys thought should have happened day one, is that they should be successful right off the bat. And it takes time. Failing is all right. It's not a bad thing to fail for a pro athlete because you can get better and learn from it. And those two are the best in the world, and we feel very comfortable with those two having the ball. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't, but we learn from it, and I think they've answered that question from day one. As you just mentioned, they're one of the best, if not the best, in clutch time. But that was a big thing you guys wanted to make a big deal about last year. But you're not making a big deal about it this year because shit's going good, right? So write some positive shit.
I just asked you a question.
And I'm giving you a fucking answer. Like, you guys, you know, there's all right to write positive stuff. People will read your positive shit. You don't always have to be negative. Right? Like, it's just the world's already negative enough, right? So let's see some positive stuff on some positive people that are doing their job on a nightly basis.
Making it a lot easier to do that this year.
Well, we're only into this year. We can't go back to last year, right? Like, that's the fucking problem.
I love that. I absolutely love that from Jason Kidd because I will say this. Everybody, fans, media, everything they find opportunities to be hard on some of these guys. And some of these guys are a little bit more polarizing than others. Kyrie is one of them. Kevin Durant, for whatever reason, is also another one. And when people have an opportunity to kind of try to bury them, they will. And they do it in the media. They do it. Fans do it. But it's very hard for those same people that have buried a player to turn around and try to give said player credit for doing something at a higher level or making amends for something that they didn't do last year versus this year. And I think what Jason Kidd is saying, and I know we talked a little bit about this earlier about like making sure everybody gets flowers and maybe it's a little bit of a softer generation. I don't view that with Jason Kidd. I feel like he's just saying like, you guys are always trying to find the bad. Why not praise some of the good when you see it and you have the opportunity to praise it because it deserves to be praised. And I'm 1,000,000% on board with what Jason Kidd said.
Matter of fact, I talked to him after that yesterday, and I told him it was one of his best rants ever because he looked like straight mafia. Like he looked like he was at a table. You notice he didn't raise his voice or nothing. He just smoothly cursed his ass out. And this is all basically, it's not about Luka. It's about the hatred and the dislike for Kyrie.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
It's not about Luka at all. They're mad and they're disappointed that Kyrie, since he's been in Dallas, has been great. He's been great. The only problem I've had with Kyrie over the years, and I think he knows it when I've criticized him, is that stuff he was doing to hurt the team. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I can't judge him for his beliefs and what he thinks and all of that. Like, everybody has their beliefs and what they think. Like, we're in a generation of kids that's really cognizant of history. And they really read and they study. They're not dumb. And then what they do is they form their own opinions. Well, damn, isn't that the way it should be? So we live in an opinionated country now. Oh, my land.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We got people we voted into office. I mean, they are scary. Okay? But hey, if that's what they believe, so be it. Just don't bring it to my house. Don't bring it around me. Go ahead and believe what you want. Do what you want, but don't disrupt my life in doing it. That's it. And so that goes with teammates. Like, they sit around and they want Kyrie to blow up or say something and all of that, and he hasn't. And so now they search. And they can't bite their tongue. They can't wait. So they got to bring something out. You know, and so I applaud Jason for going off and protecting his guys. Because right now, you know, Luka and Kyrie seem to have blended well together. And we haven't seen that from Kyrie since he was with LeBron. And so Luka, obviously, you know, they call him Luka Magic. So he has that magic to where he has been able to really settle Kyrie and keep him focused and keep him on the court and not be taking days off like he did in Brooklyn and all that stuff. He seems to be very much engaged in the team and in basketball. And so why ask any negative questions about what's going on in Dallas? They're playing well.
Yeah. They just beat the Rockets, you know, and the Rockets were going to be in the in-season tournament. The Rockets are playing very well. Again, like, I've watched Dallas play a couple times. I like what they're doing. As much as I hate Dallas, I like what they're doing. I think that they're playing at a high level. And Kyrie and Luka are the two heads of the snake for them. And that deserves to be recognized when it deserves to be recognized. And not, you know, I know Tim Bontemps has his shtick or whatever, and he's not always revered by a lot of people. But, you know, I think in this instance, Jason Kidd was spot on to call him out.
Right. It's just too much, man. Like, when I first went to Europe years ago, I was amazed at how many newspapers that were in Athens, Greece. Like, seriously, like, they have like maybe 8 or 9 sports newspapers. So you remember when they came out with that sports newspaper years ago? It didn't hold up, though. I forgot what they called it, but it was just all sports. Okay.
Like ESPN the magazine?
No, I forgot the name of it. But
Mm-hmm.
we had the USA Today, we had that, but then we had this paper that it was just all sports. And I thought it would take off, but it hasn't. But guess what? The Athletic has. So it's sort of like the Athletic is now.
Okay.
You got all the writers, and that's all they write about is sports stories. But over there, they had like 8 newspapers, man. So I couldn't go anywhere. Like, I don't care if I went to the drugstore, I was in the paper the next day. Like, now, the United States is like that now. Well, we have the podcast, look at us. We have all these newspapers. We have all these radio shows, all of that. And so people fight for stories. And so they wake up in the morning and they're trying to figure out what to write because 1,000 other writers are writing with them, where in the past it was only a few. And so now they got to be very creative.
Yeah.
And then what they do is something gets into their head and they say, okay, I'm going to go with this. And so when they go to a press conference, Tim Bontemps is trying to really create something that was in his head that he can write about because there's nothing out there, or 5 other people that wrote that story, so he doesn't want to regurgitate it. So it's competition. And that's where we at right now. That's where we are right now in regards to sports in this country. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing for writers because now they got to be very creative. And that's the struggle for them now. And so he just went searching.
Well, I think that's kind of part of the problem a little bit, is that because it is very saturated media market right now when it comes to sports. Like you said, so many different avenues you can go to get your information or get the latest on your favorite teams and all this other stuff. So the written portion of this, when it came to the old traditional newspaper aspect of this, which is dying off in terms of the tangible physical product,
Right.
is fading away. And writers that were used to just writing deadline stories because they had to turn them in by 8 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night or whatever for the turnaround, are now being asked to craft stories that are a little bit more creative, a little bit more insightful in order to draw in those readers on in the digital space. Some of them are not as adept to that as others, and they have not been able to figure it out. So their fallback, in my opinion, is to go and try to find something that is negative, because when it comes to clicks, when it comes to people reading your stuff, it's either negativity or really great new information that maybe you never heard of before and you didn't realize, right? And there is no middle ground sometimes when it comes to that. And
they're their favorites too. Like, they avoid
100%.
stories. Like, for instance, the Josh Giddey situation. If that had been Kyrie.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, I know. And listen, before you even go there, real quick, we will address the Josh Giddey situation at some point. We're not going to right now because it's highly complex. We don't really know all the details. We know what we saw on social media, and if that lays bare true, I promise you, he and I will have some opinions on that that are not favorable to Josh Giddey. But we can't right now.
You can't right now.
So
and I'm not. And I didn't say that to go at Josh Giddey.
I know.
I just said it more so is certain players that these writers are waiting for something to happen so they can just blast off. But with the Josh Giddey situation, they seem to be very tempered. And so holding their opinion. But nobody holds, a lot of these writers won't hold their opinion on Kyrie. They immediately jump, and they're waiting for something to happen, and he's not giving them anything, but he's just playing basketball. And I think that's what frustrated Jason Kidd, because Jason knows he has a polarizing player in Kyrie. And so why are you trying to poke the bear? Why? I mean, like, they're playing well. As Jason said, where's the positivity? Because it could turn around. I don't think they're going to continue doing what they're doing. I think they're going to hit a roadblock a little bit here or there. But I tell you this, I don't think anybody wants to play them in a playoff series, and they're keeping the game close. Because I don't know of two better closers, I mean, we got two dynamite closers now in ourselves, and KD and Devin, and I'm sure Bradley Beal's going to make it just ridiculously good. But I mean, the idea and the thought of having to deal with Kyrie and Luka with 3 minutes to go in a game,
oh man,
that is not fun.
Especially when they're playing at a high level and having the chemistry that they've been able to show right now. 1,000,000%. Yeah. Totally agree. So, listen, if you're a little bit hungry after this show and you need a little bit of breakfast, maybe you haven't got some breakfast, you can go to Burrito Express. They got some of the best breakfast burritos out there. The machaca burritos, my personal favorite, but they got the total breakfast burrito too. A little bit of potato, a little bit of eggs, a little bit of bacon, all the good stuff. Go check them out at Burrito Express. Follow them on social media at Burrito Express as well. Angel does a great job running that account, even though it's a pro Sun Devil account. Shout out to my Wildcats for stomping the Devils last Friday, by the way, or last Saturday. And like I said, just go follow them on social. Go to their many locations, especially the one in Tempe. That's kind of the mothership right there. They do a great job. Their staff is amazing. They'll take care of you. Burrito Express is where it's at. To wrap this up, Eddie, I had the video, but I do realize because of NBA rules that we can't show a highlight on this show, so we will have to punt on the the proof that you had said a certain phrase that you debated that you said last week, and then you said you were going to go get the actual footage. I'm telling you, you said what you said, and I heard what you said.
I talked to my producers.
And what did they say?
They said no. They didn't feel. They felt like it got cut off.
I will call Brock Kraft right now and tell him I need that footage.
Well, that's fine. You can call him because that's who I talked to, and they basically. I said the first part of it. I said, okay. I actually said they had the gang rebound.
Yes, you did.
Okay. And then at the end, it kind of cut me off, okay? So it might have sounded like I said bang at the end, but I did not say that. Let me tell you something.
What
I am very cognizant of what I say on the air, and it is no way that I would say that. But like I said, a couple of years ago, right, I said bump that.
And somebody said,
And they thought I said
F that.
F
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And it went viral.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so a lot of times if you don't get the full thing, like if you get a cutoff, and that's what that was, and that guy, whoever put that up there, conveniently cut it off. Just think about it now.
Okay.
Because he conveniently cut it off. Why? Why would he cut it off? I'm sure he didn't stop at gang, and it sounded like that. So I'm not buying it because I know I didn't say that.
I want to know what the rest of the word was then, if you don't think you said it.
It probably could have been a phrase. I could have continued something. I don't even remember. But basically, I probably got cut off, or maybe K-Ray cut me off, right? Something happened that guy did not play the end. They said they looked at it and they said they didn't see it. They said they didn't hear it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right.
Okay, but trust me, if I said it, I would own up to it. But I mean, that's kind of vulgar. I mean, that's kind of like out of the character. Somebody,
Out of pocket.
really?
It's almost
I mean, doing a basketball game.
I'm not going to drill this to death.
Now, a lot of analysts have said some stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, Doris Burke, she went viral one time. I mean, I was a little bit disturbed. UB Brown said something that really disturbed me a little bit. But I don't think, and everybody has sexual connotations and when they say stuff.
I mean, Charles has done it a million times.
I mean,
on TNT.
you remember the one with he and Shaq. We need to, can we pull that one up?
We'll pull that for the next week.
Can you put it? It was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I mean, we could end the show with it. Pull it up fast. You know? I mean, I thought it was hilarious. Because he said, come on, guys. You know, I'm like, that was, but you got to get a kick out of it. So if I did say it, I'm glad you all got a laugh out of it. I mean,
Yeah. Hey, listen, it was fun. It was fun banter. It was fun to find out what was the truth. And we will share it with you guys next week. I promise. That is a promise to you guys. But we appreciate you all joining us for today for another episode of Outside Shots.
He hurt himself in the game. He go, mommy, get on the phone, call your mommy. Mommy, I turned my ankle. Should I stay in the game? Come on, man.
Is that your impression of me?
Come on.
What are you wearing right now on your shoes, by the way? Like, what shoes are those?
These Bron.
Are they really?
These Brons, baby.
They look like they're Louboutins.
No,
man.
these Bron.
Okay. All right.
Bron,
Nobody can
baby.
see it because
I gotta get them to sign.
you're not on camera. There you go.
I gotta get them to sign.
Oh yeah, they're red bottoms. Are you sure they're not Louboutins? Oh no, those are bronze. Yeah.
I got.
Okay.
I gotta get them to sign.
All right. Those are kind of nice.
Yeah, I wear them with a suit every now and then, because they do look like they're top notch.
Yeah. I mean, well, the red bottoms makes it seem like they're Louboutins.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, there you go, staring at people's shoes.
I mean, hey man.
I mean, you're a shoe freak.
Listen, man. Yeah, I am. I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah.
I love shoes.
I got a lot of shoes.
I mean, hey.
Why don't you come shine them for me?
First of all, were you going to finish that off with boy? Like, Jesus. Stop.
No, I'll pay you. I have to. What are you offended by people that shine shoes?
First of all, I shine boots in the military. I don't do that anymore.
That's why I'm asking you, because you one of them guys had to get up every day.
I did, man. I took a lot of pride. I took a lot of pride in making sure that my shoes were nice and shiny.
You notice what I noticed about Saul though? Like a lot of people in the military, they always erect, right? There's another saying, but they're always erect, right? I mean, there you go. Like posture is great.
Uh-huh.
Look at him. I mean, really? I mean, he was in the service. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess when you got out, you just said, forget it. Nah, I'm just going to go through life like.
I mean, you act like I'm some sloppy asshole or something like that. Like, I'm just not. And you know this. Like he knows.
But
this.
I mean,
he knows he's full of crap
most
right
service
now.
people are like erect. They're like,
Yeah, but you know what? This is the difference between them and me, right? Is that when I left the service, like I left the service, and like I still have some of the fundamental core values of what was happening in the service and what I took with me. But I left some of the other stuff that I didn't really like so much out there. I don't need to be stiff all the time to show you that like I have respect for people.
do I need to address you?
No, first of all, that's not the way you salute. Okay, so stop.
How do you
And
salute?
also
Show
that
me.
absolutely drives
Show
me
me.
crazy.
Show
All
me.
right, so okay, all right, so I'm gonna show you.
Salute me.
So when you
Show me.
salute, first of all, your from your
Right here.
fingertip to your elbow should be
Fingertip.
straight, right?
Right
Okay,
here.
and then when you
Do
put it, you should be to the corner of your eyebrow.
Right here.
Okay, slightly tilted towards your face.
Okay, so
Slightly tilted towards your
all
face.
that?
No. See how you got like this?
Yeah,
No. Straight line,
straight line.
arm perpendicular.
Straight line
Yeah,
like
there
that.
you go. Perfect. And
Like
hand
that.
tilted towards your face.
Like this. Yeah.
Hand tilted towards your face.
Like this.
There you go. And put your thumb along your forefinger.
My thumb along
Yeah,
forward,
yeah.
Like that.
Hand straight.
Hand straight.
Well, your hand's crooked, man. What are you
Well,
doing?
I got a
Straighten
crooked
out your
hand. I got a crooked hand. Maybe because I play a lot of sports and you.
Oh my God, that has nothing to do with it.
I got a. What do you mean? I got a beat up hand.
I mean, first of all, I don't care if you have a beat up hand. You can still straighten up your fingers. You just showed me you could.
Man, look, it took you probably about 5 years to learn how to do that.
No, it
And
didn't.
You trying to get on me for 2
because
minutes.
I'm natural. I can follow instructions, Eddie.
Okay then, but I never got taught that.
I'm teaching you right now.
Okay, well, I'm supposed to get it the first time. Well,
Yes.
You, like you,
Yes.
what are you, the
Yes.
professor of the year?
1,000,000%. That was my job as a drill sergeant, a military training instructor, is to make sure that you got it basically
Man,
the first and second
I'm
try.
telling you to
And
come
then
up-
if you didn't get it, all right,
What's gonna happen?
you're gonna be doing push-ups.
Well, no,
That's
I
what
wasn't
happened.
doing nothing.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything. You
Well, not
tell
right
me
now
to-
you're not.
You tell
But
me
if
to
you
get
were in
out and
basic
do
training,
50.
you would have.
Get out. You get out and do 50.
Oh my God.
I'll be like Richard Gere, Lou Gossett, and you'll say, "Come on over here to the tent," and I'll go over there and whoop you up.
Eddie, you wouldn't stand a chance.
I'll go over there and whoop you up too, just like
Basic training.
Lou
Not a
Gossett.
chance.
Lou
Not a
Gossett
chance.
kicked Richard Gere butt, but it would be a reverse.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
officer and the gentleman. Y'all remember that? Okay, I'm the gentleman.
Are you? Are you? I mean, I don't know, man. Disrespecting somebody for the military commitment, this is how I'm taking this. So.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Hey, as Saul just taught me.
Let's see if you get it right. Let's do it. Tilt your head towards your face. All right, that's close enough. That's another episode of Outside Shots. And then when you drop it, you gotta go down the center of your body. There you go.
Where? Drop?
When you
where?
drop your salute, you got the hand goes
that
down.
might
the
hurt
body.
if I go down there.
Well, don't do that. Don't hit yourself. Just go down. You'll be all right.
Man, that's too much stuff, man.
I know. For
Like,
you,
just
it
give me
is
just
a
give-
million
hey, man,
percent.
just give
oh
me
my
the-
God.
hey.
You would be that guy that I would sit there and I'd be like, I would tell all the other trainees, hey, somebody
Hey.
go help Eddie out because he can't
Hey.
figure it out.
Hey.
I don't have time for this right now.
Hey, don't worry about it. But if we're in a foxhole, you gonna say, Eddie, forget all that. I want to be with Eddie.
No, because you won't even know how to shoot a gun.
Oh,
You got to teach me 89 times. I'm like, pull the trigger towards the target. That's
Hey.
all you got to do.
people
Oh, my
on the
goodness.
next show, I am going to prove to Saul that I am very accurate with a gun. I have it on
Whoa.
video.
Oh, okay. All right. You got it.
I have it.
I was like, wait, what?
I have it on video.
Yeah. Max is out there like, what?
I have it on video. I went, matter of fact, Paul Penzone, my very good friend, who's the sheriff, okay, took EJ and his wife on my birthday. Went to a shooting gallery, and we had them all laid out. And EJ
Okay.
went against Paul Penzone, and we had a shooting contest.
You beat him?
And I will send the video,
Okay.
and we will have that next week. EJ. So forget about all this. I understand it. I respect that. My servicemen, servicewomen out there, I love you. Saul, I love you. Half love you. But I understand. But you would have wanted to be in that foxhole with me, dude.
Okay.
I'll tell you that right now.
All right. One more super chat from Cycle Blue.
We getting some money today.
EJ, you're thinking about the sporting news. Is the magazine?
No.
No?
Wasn't sporting news.
I don't
Was
know.
it, man?
I don't know what it is. Though.
I'll find it. I'll get it. It wasn't the sporting news.
So anyway, we appreciate you all following us and watching the show today. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on your way out. Appreciate it.
Yes.
There's
more
several of
super
you.
chats too. Come on.
For
Come on,
sure. Cue the music. Until next time, that's EJ. You can follow him at JumpShot8. You can also listen to his show, NBA Today Radio on
NBA
Sirius.
4 to 7 Eastern time today.
There you go. And then you
Let's
can-
go do some OGs.
You can follow me on social at Saul_Bookman. You can follow the pod at PHNX_Suns. Until next time, peace.
Later.